كثيرة ما بعد. Imam al-Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala in hadith number 129 in Riyadh al-Salihin في كثرة طرق الخير, the numerous way of doing good deeds. He refers to something that we do on a regular basis. You get the maximum reward for that. This hadith is about the wudu, in which he says قال عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه وأرضاه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إذا توضأ العبد المسلم أو المؤمن فغسل وجهه خرج من وجهه كل خطيئة نظر إليها بعينه مع الماء أو مع آخر قطر الماء. He says when a Muslim or a believer washes his face, and of course in the context of the wudu, with the water or with the last drop of water. فإذا غسل يديه خرج من يديه كل خطيئة يداه مع الماء أو مع آخر قطر الماء. And he says that when he washes his hands, every sin, the wrought is erased from his hands with the water or with the last drop of that water. قال فإذا غسل رجليه خرجت كل خطيئة مشتها رجلاه مع الماء أو مع آخر قطر الماء حتى يخرج نقيا من الذنوب. And when he washes his feet, every sin towards which his feet walked is washed away with water, or with the last drop of water, with the result that he comes out cleansed of all sins. May Allah make us among those who are so Alameen. It's Hadith in Sahih Muslim, the Prophet ﷺ here, he's showing us the excellence of wudu. As a request from the Prophet ﷺ to focus when you make your wudu, make it thorough. Take good time when you make wudu. Of course, not to waste water though, but at least when you wash your hands, wash them properly. When you wash your face, wash it properly. When you wash your feet, wash them properly, because it's not just about washing, the outward of your body. It also includes, from the inward, from the inside. With that, you purify yourself. So when you wash your face, whatever that the eyes looked at, and subhanAllah, the chances for sin with the eyes in our time is unbelievable. Especially if you have access to the internet, you have a phone in your pocket. This is it. You would be watching things you don't even plan to watch. They show up on your screen sometimes. So the chances for these little sins and minor sins happen very frequent. So wash your hands with wudu regularly and frequently. It washes all the sins out of these eyes. Similarly with the hands, if you wash your hand properly, and subhanAllah, the opportunity in our time for people to commit sins are just many different ways. So whether it's hurting somebody or doing something sinful, or even writing something or typing something that is wrong and that's not supposed to be, whatever the case is, similarly, it is washed away with the wudu as you wash your hands. And when you wash your feet, wherever they took you, where that sin was committed, or even planned to be committed, over there Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would clean these feet from the sins just with that wudu. The Prophet says, قَالَ مَعَ الْمَاءِ أَوْ آخِرِ قَطْرِ الْمَاءِ. What does that mean? Like he said, it comes out when you wash it with the water, or with the last drop of that water. What does that mean? That means it leaves you with absolutely nothing behind. No sins behind. Because it falls with the last drop. Some ulama, by the way, they say, this hadith also indicates the recommendation of not drying up your hands and your face when you make wudu. Let the water drip. That's what they say. Because the Prophet ﷺ, one time he made wudu, ثُمَّ أُوتِيَ بِمَنْدِيلٍ. He was offered a napkin or a towel. But the Arabic word has the two meanings. It could be pronounced as فَلَمْ يُرِدْهُ or فَلَمْ يَرُدَّهُ. So if it was فَلَمْ يَرُدَّهُ, which means he took it. He did not reject it, he just accepted it, and he used it to dry up his face and his hand. The other pronouncement is فَلَمْ يُرِدْهُ. He didn't want that. Meaning he let his hand to stay wet and his face to stay wet. Some they say because the weather maybe was hot. Others say perhaps because he was observing this hadith. To let whatever, and the Prophet ﷺ ma'soom, of course. But it's for us to teach a lesson, being infallible. Teach a lesson that you keep your water, of course, and you purify yourself. So an act that you do for the salah, make more often of wudu. Make wudu more often, inshallah ta'ala. And make it regular, bi'idhnillahi tabaraka wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala purify our hearts and our bodies and our a'mal, ya Rabbil Alameen. Wallahu a'lam. Any question, Jama'ah? Yes, sir.
People who, like, what if there's people who, I imagine, like, read these hadith about sins being cleansed, or even when Allah says, like, you fast some Adam sins over and over again, I'll forgive him over and over again. Take this and they say, well, in a moment of weakness, I'll just go ahead and fall prey to the sin because I believe Allah will forgive me. And they're doing it.
So you're saying those who premeditate the sin, because they have the wudu, mashallah, right? Look, a premeditated sin is another sin of its own, yani. Like when someone says, hey, since the wudu cleanses me and purifies me, so let me do this, inshallah, make wudu, and I make it very perfect wudu after that, inshallah ta'ala, right? Now, this is a premeditated sin right now, so that's different. We're talking about someone who, like you said, committed, but then in a moment of weakness, they fell into the sin. And then they made wudu. And then later on, that same sin, they feel weak for it and did it again. As long as it's done out of weakness, inshallah, the wudu will help purify that person. But when the person starts premeditating the sin, yani kind of like before he knows Allah is Ghafoor Rahim, it's unfortunately, as Allah said, وَمَا قَدْرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ. What, they don't give Allah the right estimate? Like they think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not shadid iqab, He's not also severe in His punishment. So yeah, it's different between someone who commits the sin out of weakness versus someone meditate that sin before. Now. Wallahu a'lam. These are the minor sins. The minor sins. But the major sins require a special tawbah for them. Wallahu a'lam.
Since the hadith is talking about dripping water, does it mean that washing the feet is better than masah?
So does it mean, based on this hadith, does it mean washing the feet is better than doing masah over the socks? Well, I mean, in terms of saying better or not, it really depends on the circumstances. Like if there's haja for a person to use the rukhsa, which is the concession over here to wipe over the socks, then just do it. That's fine. But if there's no haja, just wash the feet. Wallahu a'lam.
So if there's no heat, there's more virtue in washing them?
There is no doubt there is more virtue in washing, using the water than wiping over the socks. Wallahu a'lam.
Usually at work, right?
At work, and if you put your foot in the sink and then John comes in and says, what are you exactly doing, right? So wipe over the socks better for you then. Yes?
So the hadith talks about water dripping off and the sins falling off.
No.
Perhaps I missed it. In today's world, we use a towel to dry ourselves off after that. So does that, we should not do that?
No, that's what we said about the Prophet ﷺ. He accepted it or he rejected it, right? In terms of using the towel. So is it better for you to keep, your hand, the water dripping so you can get whatever actually comes out with it? I mean, that's one of the interpretations. But if you're going to be walking in through the office with your water, mashallah, dripping and getting everybody wet around you, no, you better actually use towels. Inshallah ta'ala. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.